What's up, everybody? This is the Messed Up to Setups podcast. I'm comedian Michael Halcomb, and in the house with me today, North Carolina, Charlotte-based comedian Paul Snyder. This dude's won some comedy competitions. He's got a dry bar special. I'm super looking forward to this. We're gonna have fun, so stick around.
It's all messed up, yeah. Everything's messed up. We're going from this mess up to the next setup. Everything seems so messed up, but it's just our setup.
What's up, everybody? This is the Messed Up to Setups podcast. I'm comedian Michael Halcomb, and welcome back in the house with me, comedian Paul Snyder, based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Stoked to have you back, Paul. Thanks so much, man.
You bet. Let's do this.
Yes, let's do it. So this is part two. And for those of you familiar with the podcast, you'll know that in part two, when I have comedians on, I always have them bring a premise and we workshop it, try to build something out, or a joke they're already working on and we can punch it up, whatever. We just like pulling back the curtains and on comedy and showing people how comedians work on jokes and work on jokes together. So that's what this is. So Paul, man, what'd you bring for us here in part two? What do you want to work on?
Yeah, I have a joke that I've been working on for a year.
Oh my goodness. All
Yeah.
right.
This is a year-long journey, and I've got one section that still does not work.
And you tried it on stage.
Oh, every time. Every
Nice.
time. And I've tried it different ways. And like 90% of the joke gets exactly what I want it to get.
Okay.
But there's one little section in there that just never gets what I want. So I
Okay.
thought, let's bring that part of it
Let's do
and
it.
let's see if we can figure something different out.
Yeah. All
Let's
right. What
unlock it.
so
Find the
hit us,
last piece
man.
of the
Let's
puzzle.
hear it.
So the premise is that I have a son that has gotten into Pokemon cards. So
Okay.
the whole idea is so it goes from I've got a son that just got into Pokemon. I love him, so I want to support him in the new hobby. Uh he is
Okay.
23.
Right.
But I love him and I want to be excited about what he's excited about. So that's kind of the first part. Just
All right.
kind of be like, okay, I've got a 23-year-old that likes Pokemon cards.
Yes. All
Uh,
right.
and then I say that I made him a promise that when I'm on the road for comedy, I'll see if I can find a little local Pokemon shop, see if I can bring something home. Then I kind of tangent that into the fact that after I made him the promise, it's like, what's it going to look like for a middle-aged man in a Pokemon store?
Right.
So I spent a little bit of time with that. Just like, I kind of switch off of like, okay, kind of making a jab at my son for being into Pokemon at 23. I then go into like, well, here's how ludicrous it looks for me to be in a Pokemon store. But then it gets into that I'm in a store. I'm by myself. I don't know anybody. I'm just looking at cards. And then I hear a voice from across the room yell out, "Hey, babe." And I turn around. And it's a guy's voice. And I turn around. And that's the section that never gets the reaction. Because I've just said that as a middle-aged guy in a Pokemon store, like I actually feel pretty good about myself because I look around. I just feel pretty good, and then I even like look around and be like, I think I might be the only one in here who has ever been with a woman. Like, so, like, that
Right.
that feels pretty good. Um, so then I kinda turn it to, like, an actual like, I'm in a store, I hear this guy's voice yell out, "Hey, babe," and I'm the one who turns around,
Right.
which to me is funny.
Yeah.
'Cause I even say, like, there's no reason for me to turn around, like, I am married to a woman and, like, she has a lady voice and everything. But, like, that little section never it gets some laugh,
Hmm.
but other people just don't laugh, so it's like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing wrong in the wording or what, but,
Mm.
I need to figure that part out, um because then from there, it goes into, like, I say, like, I'm married to a woman, she has a lady voice and everything, and then I say, "And I knew I made a mistake." Like, the moment I turned, I knew I had made a mistake because our eyes locked, uh, and then I go on, and the rest of the joke works really well. It's just that little
Yeah.
like, that I turn around when another guy says, "Hey, babe," like,
Mm.
doesn't get the reaction that I'm looking for. So that's the weak portion of the bit. I've tried it a few different ways. I've
Mhm.
tried it being like, to say like, "Hey, honey," and then be like, "My wife calls me honey, so that's why," and it
Mm.
was just more words for it to still get the same reaction. So, I didn't really like that. Um,
So the part of the thing there, right? So I like think about the gap between the reality and the expectation. The the expectation is that when you tell the joke, like we're expecting it to be your wife because it says, "Hey, babe," when the reality is it's another guy, right?
yeah,
So,
it's just
um,
this other dude in the store. Like, cause I
yeah,
preface it like that I'm in there by myself, I don't know anybody, nobody knows me, so you
right,
know, it should, like, when I hear and also I say a guy's voice from across the store,
right.
so there should be enough disconnect that people wouldn't be like, "Is his wife with him?" Like, I feel like I've set that to, like, that I am by like, my wife is not there. Um,
Yeah, but so like the first time I heard it, I was thinking that your wife was there shopping for your son and you just didn't know it,
yeah,
right?
no. No,
So,
because I
okay,
because I say that, like, I'm in Nashville, like, I just reference
okay,
Nashville,
you're
like, that I'm in Nashville, I found a little local shop, I'm in there by myself, nobody knows me, I don't know anybody, I'm just looking at cards, all of a sudden, I hear a guy's voice from across the room yell out, "Hey, babe," and then it's like and I've said, like and without, uh, the words I say specifically, I go, before I even realized what I was doing, like, I turned around. Um,
yes.
and
So
it goes on, like, his wife was in the store. Um,
ah,
uh, yeah.
what about a joke, or some sort of punch where I think you could make some sort of thing about your wife sounding like a man. Um, that could maybe do like, I knew it was a guy's voice, like, but never has my wife sounded like a man or some sort of like angle of your wife sounding like a man. Um, that's kind of where my mind is going. Um, so let's try to like build up to this. So you turn around, this guy says, "Hey babe, it's a guy." You clearly hear a dude's voice. You shouldn't be turning around when you hear a dude's voice say,
Right.
"Hey
Yeah, and I
babe,"
say, like,
right?
there was no reason for me to turn around at that. Like, I say,
Right.
I was like, he says, "Hey, babe," and and then I say, and before I could even stop myself, I said, "Before I could stop myself, I turned around." And then I say, "There is no reason for me to have turned around. I'm married to a woman. She has a lady voice and everything. Like, there was nothing in that guy's voice that should have alerted me." And then I say, and I knew I made a mistake because our eyes locked, and that there's nothing you can do about you lock eyes with another man, you cannot undo that. And I say, "You just gotta lean into it."
Uh,
So I just look at him and go, "Mhm," and he's like, "Dude, no." And, then I was like, "We
uh,
are 2 grown men in a Pokemon store. I don't know what the rules are." Um,
that's good. I like that.
no, but
What if
it's
he's in
just
like
that
a
whole reaction to the voice and turning around, I feel should get a bigger laugh than it ever does. So I've
mm,
just fought with the wording, and um, just never gotten it to be where, like, okay, it consistently is getting a big laugh like I want it to.
yes.
I don't
So
think I could get it past my wife to make her sound like a man. I don't know that
no.
I don't think she'd be on board with that at all.
What about then if that's not in the cards, just you being so conditioned to hearing the phrase, "Hey," like Pavlov, right? The dog, like you hear this phrase and you're just like, ding, like when the dogs when the bell goes off, like you're
Yeah.
so conditioned. There might be something to that. Um, like maybe that's it. Like I'm in the shop by myself. I hear somebody say, "Hey, babe." Now I'm like so conditioned, like Pavlov's dogs, right? That I turn around. Um, Maybe that's an angle to do it from. And it's a guy talking to somebody else. I don't know. There's no reason I should have turned around. My wife's never sounded like that once, not in 25 years of marriage or whatever. Um, but I turned around when I heard, "Hey, babe," just because that's what you do. It's Pavlovian, you know. Um, so that's one idea. I like the idea of now we're making eye contact, and once you lock eyes with a grown man, you can't undo that. That's funny. Um, what if I don't know, couple details like he's wearing a Pikachu hoodie or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Huh. You're a middle-aged man in a Pokemon store, guy with a Pikachu hoodie says, "Hey babe," and you're just so conditioned that you turn around. Um Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about that? What's your initial reaction?
I could try that. Trying to figure out, um
Hmm.
I also have, because like I said at the beginning, I'm like, uh, w when I told my son that I would try to find a local shop when I'm on the road, the next bit is, oof, I all of a sudden wondered, like, what's it gonna look like for how weird is it gonna look for a middle-aged man in a Pokemon store? And then I say,
Right.
"It's not the weirdest thing you'll see." Like, it's not even top 5. Like like, and then I say, like, "I am not an alpha male, you can look at me." Uh, but when I go into a Pokemon store, I feel pretty good about myself. Um
That's right.
Then I say, I look around, I'm the only one in here who's been with a woman. And then I say, which, makes I feel pretty good. Like my shoulders go back, my chin lifts a little, my core will engage. Uh,
Yes.
my core is not engaged right now. Um, and then I
uh,
say that I've never been in a fight in my entire life. But when I go into a Pokemon store, I feel like I could go undefeated. Uh, like those little 8-year-olds are
that's
not gonna
good.
see these arms coming. So I guess because I've said, like, I've never been in a fight before, but I think I could take the 8-year-olds. I mean, I guess there's a possibility that when I turn around, I could have this thought like, "Uh-oh, I might have to fight a real person." Or, like,
Oh.
I might have to my first fight is actually gonna be with an adult man. I don't know if I could take it I don't know if I could take it there.
Mm.
Um,
I like the idea too of if your wife's not comfortable with the whole thing, like my her voice being that. you then just flip it, be like, my wife has never sounded like that in however long you've been married, 20 years. Even when she's had bronchitis, she's
Yeah.
never sounded like that. But I turned around because when you're married, "Hey babe" is like a dog whistle, right? It's just how you respond. It's Pavlovian.
Yeah.
Um, Pavlov rang a bell and dog salivated. Someone says, "Hey babe," I turn around. That's just what happens, you know. So I don't know. That's kind of like what I'm thinking. But then the fight is interesting too. Um, yeah, because what about like thinking of the marriage again? Like, hey babe isn't like a term of endearment after 20 years. It's a summons. Like,
Yeah.
and you could go into a little bit of marriage material perhaps there.
Yeah.
Uh, so thinking about that. Um, yes. I don't know if this is too edgy or over the line, but since it's a dude that's calling you, maybe you go from like, I turned around, I locked eyes with this guy, and suddenly, Pokemon became. This might turn into Pokemon,
Yeah.
Pokemon. Like that might be a little too over the edge too, but
Well,
uh,
I do when I say that, I locked eyes and I say, like, I gotta lean into it, and I'm like, he's like, "No, dude." I was like, I don't we're 2 grown men in a Pokemon store, I don't know what the rules are. I don't know if
yeah.
one of us has to show the other their Jigglypuff. So I have a my
That's
son gave me that name. So I was like, "Okay, that's funny." Um, and that always gets a very big laugh. So I do kinda try to tie it into, like, an actual Pokemon name, um, with just that interaction. It
what?
really is just that stupid, "Hey, babe," and I turn around, like, I got like, that part right there is just the one piece that is, uh, I think, keeping this joke from being one of my favorites, really.
What
Um,
here you go. Here's an idea. Simple. So you hear, "Hey babe," you turn around and this guy's looking at you're like, "This guy's looking at me like, do I know you?" And I'm thinking, "I don't know, man, but apparently you call me babe now." So like
yeah,
that might work.
okay,
Do I hear, "Hey babe," I turn around, I lock eyes with this guy, and he's like, "Do I know you?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but apparently you call me babe now." Um, that could work, I think.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, I have to try that.
so and that's much simpler than the Pavlov thing, although I like the Pavlov thing.
Yeah,
Um,
I did like that, like, because I 'cause I've been married 28 years, so and I say that earlier in the set, um,
so you could have a callback potentially.
so it could be, like, after yeah, I do like the way you said, like, after 28 years of marriage, that's not a term of affection, that's a summons.
Right.
Uh, so
Right.
I could try that, like, no matter what the voice sounds like, after 28
Yeah.
years of marriage, that's not it's
Yes.
that's a
Yeah.
summons.
I just turn around like it
Yeah, I
like
just
Pavlov conditioned.
yeah.
It's not a term of endearment. You could do like a stack of 3 there, like, just like that. I think that could work.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do too. I'll have to yeah, I'm gonna write that down.
That whole scene's funny though. Hilarious. Um, cool. Well, you good to move from that, or you want to keep working on it?
No, that's good.
Let me
I'm good.
know. Let me know if anything comes of that. I love hearing that stuff we workshop on the podcast here makes
Yeah,
it to stage and if it works or not. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's fun.
Um,
It's fun.
so here I want to do one more thing with you on
Yeah,
this one. I love doing this with guests. So I'm gonna screen share here. So for those of you watching, you're gonna be able to see it. For those of you listening, of course, you won't be able to see it. But if you head over to michaelhalcom.live, daily blog there, and Podcast drops twice a week on there. Um, Always is blogging about comedy, but I have a section on there that says social. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom of this, you're gonna find, well, now let me scroll right. There we go. You're gonna find three links that say the Joke Writers Lab. We're interested in the third one, the one that says joke writing exercises beneath it. So Paul, I created these exercises uh just to do some joke writing, uh I don't know, like activities, like to get the juices flowing, as it were.
Yeah.
Um, they're kind of fun. So we'll look at these. You can see you have jokes from headlines, jokes from cliches and rhetoric, all kinds of things. They get, some are super simple, some are very, very complex, just to work your chops and to stretch your muscles here. But I always kind of start with headlines, and these are timed because as comedians we work on a clock.
Yeah.
But we'll just, if you click these buttons, it'll take you to these like dynamic prompt generators that I've created. And so this dynamic news prompt generator, if I hit generate prompt, it's going to pull from like a ton of different news outlets in the world today. And it's going to give us just actual headlines. So this is like literally in the news today. I never know what it's going to generate. Um, and so it's from all over the world. So, for example, government must do more to help detained Brits in United Arab Emirates, advocacy group says. And the idea for us is just to see if we can riff on any of this and come up with any punchlines. That's the whole idea. Um, it's sometimes it's pretty hard because these headlines are kind of out there
Yeah.
sometimes, but I
Can I
don't know.
just can we just say I agree and just I agree.
That that
You must do
that it's
more.
harder, that the
Yeah,
government must do more.
I get it. I agree.
So let's try a different one here. U.S. allows Russian oil tanker to reach Cuba despite blockade. U.S. allows Russian oil tanker to reach Cuba despite blockade. And if you have anything you can riff on there, feel free to go. We can just bounce back and forth. U.S. allows Russian oil tanker to reach Cuba despite blockade. I don't know. Uh, Something I like doing the in related news.
Yeah.
In related news, the U.S. still hasn't allowed passengers to reach their gate at, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
uh, something about the blockades in the airport.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
it's taken the, Russian oil tanker less time to reach Cuba than it takes
yes,
to get through security at
yes,
Charlotte
exactly,
Airport, you know?
exactly,
I
perfect,
always feel very weird about doing headline stuff because it's like the moment you say something, you're gonna lose
right,
half your
right,
audience,
yep.
um, which, if you do a bar show, that's 7 people, so you lose half of those, like, that's a that's you don't have time to lose half of 7. You gotta
Right.
keep all of them.
Um, well, hopefully we don't lose half our viewers here. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger awarded honorary degree in Belfast. Arnold Schwarzenegger awarded honorary degree in Belfast. Um, when they called his name, he diverted to the restroom and said, "I'll be back." I don't know, stupid.
Yeah.
Uh, Arnold Schwarzenegger awarded honorary degree in Belfast. Instead of a terminal degree, it should have been a Terminator degree. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, Belfast. That's interesting. Of all places, Belfast. Arnold Schwarzenegger awarded honorary degree in Belfast. Oh,
My immediate thought is that, Trump then asked if he could have that degree also that degree, you know?
that's hilarious.
It's like, that's an award I'd like. Can I have
Yeah,
that award too?
I love it, dude. That's great. Yes. War pushes gas prices near $4 a gallon, and anti-Trump protesters rally nationwide. Why are you going to rally for high gas prices?
It's like
Who does that?
yeah. That's an interesting, like, grouping there, that those were the
Yes, it
2,
is.
you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I yeah,
uh, here we
yeah.
go. Government. Oh, that's just
They spent more than $4 getting to the rally,
right.
you know?
Right. Exactly. Justice Department watchdog has gone silent. Lawyers for whistleblowers say. This is a confusing
That
headline.
that is it's saying a
I'm
lot
gonna
without saying anything.
yes. Man. Rubio tells Al
Oh
Jazeera
gosh.
that the Strait of Hormuz is to reopen one way or another.
Yes. Says the guy wearing shoes too big for him.
Rubio Rubio tells Al Jazeera that the Strait of Hormuz will reopen one way or another. Yeah. Uh,
I
Al
love that
Jazeera.
that's become some sort of rallying cry lately, because that's not the first time people, up high have used the one way or another phrase like that. They're they're throwing that around a lot, you
Yeah.
know? It's,
Uh, yes. Um, Rubio tells Al Jazeera the Strait of Hormuz will reopen one way or another, and what was the callback? Russia. In related news, Russia has beat the U.S. to the punch or something, right? Just like
yeah,
they did with Cuba. Let's try some other ones here. I have other ones. Jokes from cliches. I like this one. Finish the setup.
okay.
The idea is I took like thousands of jokes, most of them from Conan O'Brien's late night monologues. I chopped
Interesting.
off the punchline, but left the
Gotcha.
setup. And
Okay.
our job is to complete the setup.
I gotcha.
So we'll do a couple of these here. So a Mexico City man is now has the world's largest collection of Harry Potter memorabilia. A Mexico City man now has the world's largest collection of Harry Potter memorabilia.
I I don't I wanna say something about, uh, his friends have gone, and then whatever might be the Harry Potter, uh, like, command for disappearing,
Oh,
but I don't know the
yeah, I don't
lingo.
know either. I
I'm
don't
not
know
deep
anything
enough
about Harry
I'm
Potter,
not
dude.
deep enough into the lore to know, what that would be,
Right.
but people who then knew Harry Potter would get the punchline. Um,
Well, here, a Mexico City man now has the world's largest collection of Harry Potter memorabilia. That same Mexico City man also has the longest time of not having a girlfriend in Mexico
yeah,
City.
yes.
Something like that. Um, we'll do a couple more here, maybe. Um, let's see. Yeah, there's Tom Brady Deflategate stuff there. If budget cuts go into effect, major airports could face delays of up to 90 minutes. To
Which would
which
be
travelers in 2026 said,
would be like, "Woo!"
"Woo."
Only 90 minutes, that's awesome.
um,
Wish.
the World Health Organization is advising scientists not to name diseases after places or people. To which Cleveland said, "Aw." Um, um, yeah. The World Health Organization's advising scientists not to name diseases after places or people. Hmm. Yeah, I'm stalled out on that one.
Yeah.
Cleveland is.
I was
I
trying
could
to
think
think
of
of the
Detroit.
making fun of a restaurant, you don't want You don't want a disease named after, TGI Fridays baby back syphilis or, just
That's funny. The idea of TGI Fridays. Thank God it's, and then the F could be the disease there. I
yeah.
don't know an F disease. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of funny. Not to name diseases after places or people. Hmm. All right, we're gonna stop there on that.
All right.
It's kind of funny. Um, Hey, for those of you watching or listening, make sure you head over to at Paul Snyder Comedy on Instagram and check out Paul's Instagram. Give him a follow, give him some likes and comments. I'm sure he'd appreciate. Let's help move him over the 2,000 mark. He's been sitting there for a while. I don't know how to move the needle on Instagram, but maybe if you're watching or listening, you could help us with that. And then after you've done that, head over to michaelhalcom.live, or while you're still on Instagram, you could also go to Michael Halcom Live and give a follow there. I only got 411 at time of recording, so help me move the needle a little bit. But then head over to michaelhalcom.live. Subscribe there to the daily blog, the podcast. Podcast, of course, shows up there. It shows up at Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all the places. But give a subscribe, and you'll never be out of the loop with regard to comedy. Comedy stuff will come to your inbox every day, pretty much. So, Paul, dude, it's been really fun hanging out with you, man. Thanks for
It's been
meeting.
great. It's been great.
Yes. I've had a lot of fun. Thanks for the wisdom and the stories, the laughs. Glad to connect with you. If I can ever do anything for you, man, let me know. And for everybody out there watching and listening, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Drop a like, leave a comment, reshare, all the things, Paul, appreciate you, man. I'm gonna
Thanks,
stop
Michael.
there. I'm Michael Halcom. I'm gonna stop there and say I hope that helps. All right.
It's all messed up, yeah. Everything's messed up. We're going from this mess up to the next setup. Everything seems so messed up, but it's just our setup.